The state Supreme Court has overturned a law restricting where registered sex offenders can live. KPIX5's Kiet Do is in San Jose to tell us what the ruling says and what it means. Kit?
Good morning. Right now, sex offenders cannot live within 2,000 feet of any school or park, and so that has created concentrated pockets of them. So, for example, along this little stretch of Race Street in San Jose, there are 4 registered sex offenders. But all that could change. Yesterday, the California State Supreme Court ruled that 2,000-foot restriction actually violates their constitutional rights by limiting their access to housing. The court also says it keeps the offenders away from their families and makes it more difficult for them to get counseling, both of which can keep them from reoffending. The court's unanimous decision said the law had, quote, no rational relationship to advancing the state's legitimate goal of protecting children from sexual predators. The court restricted their ruling to San Diego County, where a group of sex offenders brought the case up, but it could have statewide impact. The author of Jessica's Law said it was troubling.
This was a law that was supported by over 70% of Californians. The court ruling basically says a child molester can now live across the street from a school. And I am convinced that most Californians do not believe that should happen.
If you're homeless and you can't find a place to live, you can't find a job, you're probably going to resort to some sort of method of keeping yourself alive, be it stealing food or something.
Supporters of the court's ruling says the law often forces offenders into homelessness, and that makes it harder for police to track them. The court basically struck down the part about parks, but sex offenders can still be restricted from living within 2,000 feet of a school. Each of these exemptions will have to be made on a case-by-case basis. We're live in San Jose. Kiet Do, KPIX5.